You know, plans have got to start somewhere, and the genesis of this proposal dates back to when Marty Thuvenol was Upland's interim city manager, and the folks at ASO came to him with concerns about the need for more soccer fields. Upland's population has grown considerably over the years, and more kids and adults, of course, are playing soccer. Undoubtedly, there's a need for more soccer fields. So in trying to find a solution, Marty met with the Lewis group of companies about possible ways to develop more soccer fields, and the idea just kind of went from there. When I first heard about the notion of creating a regional sports park in Upland, I was pretty excited. I'm one who likes to think big, and this certainly was a big idea. Something that would be special for Upland and would stand out as a unique and truly awesome landmark that would make the city proud. It was an idea that I thought would put Upland on the map. But of course, that kind of thing costs money, and clearly the city of Upland couldn't do something like this on its own. And in fact, there have been a variety of plans for a park along the 210 freeway over the years that have ultimately sat dormant because of a lack of funding. None of those were of this scale. More importantly, there still wasn't money to pay for it. But we're fortunate to have smart people who can figure these things out, and they came up with a very thoughtful and inspired formula that penciled out where this grand regional sports park could be developed by a city partner. Who doesn't like the concept of using other people's money? But seriously, public-private partnerships have become the model for how budget-strapped cities like Upland are able to move forward with major projects because they can't otherwise afford them on their own. Of course, there has to be a benefit for all the parties involved, and the initial proposal would have meant moving the soccer fields at Cabrillo Park to the new sports park on more than 45 acres north of the 210 freeway, essentially doubling the number of soccer fields available to kids in Upland, and then also adding a number of other sports and recreation facilities for our community. The current soccer fields at Carbrillo Park would be developed into single-family homes, and another new residential area would be developed at Sycamore Hills. In exchange, the developer would reconfigure and make significant improvements to Cabrillo Park and also build the new sports complex, which would be like nothing currently in Upland and anywhere else nearby. This made sense because of the years of complaints from residents around Cabrillo Park to the city and police regarding the traffic, noise, trash, and parking problems that come with people coming to and going to soccer games from early in the morning till into the evening. There have also been numerous complaints about homeless people loitering in that park as well. So the concept of taking these problems out of the neighborhood seemed like a win-win for everybody. It's not every day that an opportunity like this comes along, but with every great plan, there is another side, and we've heard your concerns. Even before tonight, representatives from the city and the Lewis companies met with stakeholders from ASO and other key groups that could be affected, including several Cabrillo Park neighbors. So as members of the ad hoc committee for this project, Councilmember Gino Felipe and I have heard from and talked with a number of residents. We've shared your concerns with the ad hoc committee, and the result is a constantly changing set of plans for this proposal. The concepts you'll see tonight have evolved and changed significantly over several weeks, not only at Cabrillo, but at Sycamore Hills and the proposed sports park, specifically because of your comments. In fact, they've even changed over the past several days, and they're likely to continue to change until we've settled on something that meets the best interests of Upland as a whole and its residents, and is also financially beneficial, rightfully so, to the Lewis Group. After all, it's their money, and they deserve a meaningful return on their investment. So, Cabrillo Park is completely off the table and won't be touched. It's no longer part of the plans whatsoever. ASO will continue to function at Cabrillo Park as it has for decades. No other parks or developed properties are part of this equation. We still hope to create a scaled-back version of the sports park in North Upland, and the plans for Sycamore Hills residential area will continue to be developed. But as with any deal, there's give and take, which means we won't be able to give you the type of new sports facility we originally hoped for. It was always the intent to address the health-related concerns that have been raised over the past few weeks, and some of those adjustments are reflected in tonight's presentation. We appreciate the suggestions for ways to mitigate some of those issues. We also welcome your suggestions for possible additional uses for this new park. This now has the potential for a variety of other recreational and event uses beyond the original singular demand for more soccer fields. So we're interested in your recommendations because this is still very much a work in progress, and you will see this is very, very preliminary. A lot of thought and hard work has gone into the proposal, and I thank the team at Lewis and our own city staff for their diligence in getting the plans to this point. And remember, this still will have to go through an extensive series of studies and approvals. So there's no guarantee that what we're talking about tonight is even feasible or will ever even happen. In a minute, I'll turn it over to Adam Collier from Lewis to give you the details. I want to thank you all for your interest and your input so far, and in advance for your comments following Adam's presentation. What you'll see tonight is an example of what I think will be a positive outcome because we're working together for solutions rather than taking opposing sides, hurling accusations, and jumping to incorrect conclusions based on conspiracy theories or who you like or dislike up here on the dais. This isn't about one side winning and another giving in. It's about everybody winning as best as we can hope. I'm personally disappointed that the current plans for the proposed sports park may not be as spectacular as once envisioned, but I sincerely believe in this project, and I think it will be great, and it'll be something that Upland will love. In time, it could possibly grow into something better and more accommodating to more sports and recreation functions based largely on public acceptance and, of course, the availability of the appropriate funding. So as always, I hope you'll contact Gino or myself if you have questions about this project, and I'm sure Adam or our city staff will be happy to answer questions as well. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for your interest in this project and in Upland, and I give you Adam Collier with Lewis Companies.